All right, for those they're gonna be seeing this. This is me going one-on-one with Waylon right now. Gonna talk about onboarding new agents, what UIP is doing to have great success, and what Waylon recommends, like what the best really method is to get people up and off the ground really the first 30 days once they're licensed. So Waylon, let's take it away.
Yeah, man. Thank you for putting it together, and thanks for jumping on. We've kind of figured out the good, the bad, and the ugly of onboarding new people, and what gets them started, and kind of what dictates their, success or inability to have success. And we've definitely, since transitioning to, we started as only an FE lifestyle IMO group, and the success rate there was probably less than 30%, if we're honest, as far as 12 plus months for people. So we had some, extremely successful people, but it was those people that knew how to sell, that were just really solid, had a budget, were buying leads. And that obviously isn't for every single person. So we've obviously transitioned to adding a lot of different product lineups and everything. So the most successful people and the highest success rate that we've seen over this last probably 3 to 4 year period has been field agents that have their life and health license, and they all have the same kind of, they check the same boxes. So they obviously have a good upline who takes them in the field within their first week of getting contracted, but they're mostly Medicare facing, face-to-face agents. So agents running 25 to 35 Medicare Advantage direct mail leads and cross-selling from there on final expense.
Okay.
It's the most profitable. It's the quickest way to get up and going. It's a huge market segment, so there's not really any problem with leads as far as not just quality, but quantity. And getting started on that side, in my opinion, is the best way to get started. In the field, Medicare Advantage, learning how to cross-sell from your upline, and learning verbiage and learning the scripting on that side. Because while you're building that residual income, you're simultaneously writing, hopefully 2 to 3, 4,000 a week in rock solid FE business. And, you're netting 10 to 15 grand a month your first couple months, getting money from the carriers on the Medicare side, which doesn't happen on the life side. Just kind of win-win-win all the way around, because you're building the residual while also writing life. And a lot of times you're doing it for, I don't want to say no money, but we're able to really subsidize marketing on that side. So
What do you so what is so you recommend like starting about like right away on direct mail because we have like the UIP exclusive lead program like
yeah, I would recommend that. We have some good digital options that are countywide as well, just to get somebody started really quickly. Not saying they're not good. It's just, it's probably 3 or 4 of those equal one direct mail lead, basically. So just
yeah.
quality. But it's still a good thing to get started on. But yeah, I would recommend direct mail as soon as possible.
Okay, and would now also would you say the best thing to do is to get like a new Medicare agent? Would you recommend them like right away to like put them take them out door knocking, or would you take them to run appointments?
I would, I mean, you can do either one, but I recommend door knocking just to kind of learn that skill, because that skill will serve you well forever. It's not going
Absolutely.
anywhere. There's entire businesses built on that premise alone. Appointments are not a bad thing. It's just nice being able to control your time, um,
Absolutely.
learning how to door knock.
Okay. And then let's say you got an agent who comes in and they're, like, oh, I've got a kid, like, let's say, for example, you got a guy, single dad, 3 kids, doesn't have really much at all he can allocate to starting, maybe a couple $100. What would you like? What would you do for their first like 4 weeks? What would you tell them to buy and how would you start them?
Yeah, so realistically, if that's all they've got to spend, I would obviously, if you're the upline there in that scenario, you
Got to put
hopefully
money in, absolutely.
help them with the first pack or second
Sure.
pack of leads to get them going. But probably digitals, but then door knocking is going to be the most profitable way to get that person out and going, because one sale, they're going to have more money in their bank account than they did before they started.
Mm,
So
absolutely. Okay. And that's kind of what I wanted to. So we recommend automatically on Medicare. And then how many carriers on the Medicare side do you think that we need to have somebody to
just depends on
have?
market. It just depends on market. It's not like the life side. Like sometimes you're going to need like, there's ones that you need everywhere. Humana, United Healthcare, Aetna, like you have to have those big guys, but 5 to 6, give or take, in any market.
Okay. And then if you've got an agent, let's say, who has a life license right now, they don't have a health license, and we want to get them started right away on the life side. Okay. What would you recommend the best way to start them on the life side would be?
Yeah, I used to obviously say direct mail, blah, 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 and it still works great. It just takes a long time and the leads are expensive. So just get on some kind of digital order of some sort, whatever that is, and knock. again, like you're gonna hear me say door knocking a lot, but it's hard to, it's the most profitable way. If you
It's
rely on just setting appointments, it can get, you'll start to think like, oh, only 5 of these leads are any good. When in all reality, if you knocked all 20 of them, you'll probably sell 8, not 5.
correct.
And
Correct.
that's when you're first getting started is everything. That's your profitability is everything.
Well, I 100% agree with that. Now, would you put him on like one of the UIP digital lead orders? Would you look at maybe
Yeah, I
another?
mean, for the final expense guys, the final expense beneficiary lead and the final expense IQ lead are definitely the highest quality. And that's
Okay.
the ones I'd recommend there.
Okay. And then as soon as they can, then get them on direct mail and go from there. All right.
Yep.
Um, and then I'm trying to think what else I wanted to do. What would you like, if you were, well, if you were obviously if you're a manager, okay, and your first week, obviously I'd say I take them the first week on the field, cut them in on business, whatever I need to do. Second, third, fourth week, what would you as a manager set for expectations for that agent?
Yeah, I mean, the only expectations you can set that are realistic are effort and time. So I would just say, hey, look, I need you in the field for at least 8 hours. I need you to track your activity and report back to me at the end of each day. Just how many doors did you hit, or how many calls did you make, or how many presentations did you give? Just track your numbers. Get in the habit of tracking that so that, if things aren't going how you want them to go or aren't going how you expected them to go, you can diagnose it. Because if you're given 30 presentations and only selling 3, well, your presentation needs work. If you've only knocked on, 12 doors in 3 days, well, you just need to work more. So it's just, as a manager, it's impossible to help or um, kind of give any kind of prognosis on what to do next if all you're hearing is the common things like, oh, yeah, no one's home. Or, I just can't get in front of anybody. It's like, yeah, well, but what are you doing or not doing there that is causing that to happen? So that's the biggest thing.
What do you so like when you get somebody, okay, let's say I got the guy gets licensed tomorrow, okay? What do you set for an expectation of a timeline as to how fast you will have them in the field, at least into your car? Let's just at least let's let me rephrase that. You get someone who's licensed and they are just now getting ready. Would you say from the day they get licensed till when they have enough carriers to be dangerous? What would you say is a realistic time frame right now based on current conditions right now with contracting?
7 to 10 days. If they've got their license, fully have their license, they can get their Medicare stuff all knocked out, have the life carriers they need, because you only need 3 or 4 and
Mhm.
go to work. It doesn't take long.
And that's what we're doing with agents. We're only going to give agents 3 or 4. I'm just getting the whole slew of everything, so that way I have it as the main hub, and then I'm contracting down with what people need. I mean, people aren't waiting on me at a later time. Okay. What do you think is a realistic expectation for a brand new Medicare agent on their first week? Let's say they do your 5 days in the field, 8 hours a day. What do you think is a realistic number of how many apps you should sell? Obviously, it's in again, we have to take this as more of like let's look at the average agent. Okay, some are gonna be better at the presentation than other. What would you say is realistic for your average, very average agent?
I mean, the expectation is at least 5 Medicare apps a week and 500 life a week.
I'm sorry,
Like
well,
that's the most.
it was five
Five
five.
5 Medicare apps and 2,500 a life. There's
Okay,
no reason you shouldn't hit that every single week.
I
And with
don't.
us in the system and everything, it's almost all profit. So that's you're netting that versus other systems where it's like, hey, you can write that, but you got to spend, $1,000 to do it.
Yep, absolutely. What oh, I just had another question that was going to be really strong. Because as I have this on the video where I'm going to be setting this out, can you go over what the UIP direct mail program is for just like if you write X amount, you get X amount for free in direct
Yeah.
mails?
So if you get 20 Medicare apps in a rolling month, so if you wrote 20 in this upcoming April, that following month you would get 20 leads per week or 20, sorry, 25 apps. You get 20 leads per week free of charge.
Okay,
20
so
direct mail.
25 apps will lead you we lands you 20 free direct mail leads per week, but you have to keep consistent with it month after month to stay enrolled in the program, correct?
So, yep.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure because like this is going to be sent out to a lot of people and made available. I want to make sure they hear it coming out of this too, not just from us.
Yeah, you're
Um,
good.
and then what if you were to say like on your life carrier side, what were the main carriers that you would contract people with?
On
SBLI,
the, on the right side right now for final expense, SBLI, Yeah, I would say SBLI, Sika, Baltimore Life, and AMAM.
Amen. Okay, cool. All right, we're about that. We should have all those for everybody shortly. Um, I know we did this a little spur in the moment, so I didn't have all the questions ready, but I think really for an agent, do you have like I know like I'm sure you do. Do you have scripts and stuff like already like that you give out to all your agents, or do you just rely on the
Mhm.
managers? Can you
Yeah.
send me over which ones those are? Because I'd like, especially for the Medicare scripts and stuff, because like me, I want to start getting myself familiarized with it. So like when as soon as I am up and dangerous, I can be loose on that because I got guys I'm gonna need to cut loose on that right away.
Yep. I'm gonna attach the fact find. We use a T graph as well. We require that in every home. You don't have to, but we do, just so that you have all the information. It includes the FE portion, the Medicare appointment, everything. So
Well, perfect. And then let's say you've got a file like you I got a you've got I've got agents that are coming, they're starting on the life side, they have other jobs like 8 to 5, they want to start doing life. What would you say is the best way to start them? What would you have them invest in? The digital leads?
yeah, I mean the digital is gonna probably be the best way to get started quickly.
All right, cool. So I'm trying to get idea. Then you probably hold off a little bit to get them on some type of live transfer program.
Yeah, I mean I wouldn't ever start anybody on the phone. It's just a debt machine.
It is. It
Ask
is.
FFL how their IMO is doing because of telesales. It's almost out of fucking business. Anybody who wants to do telesales or this one means they're lazy. Sorry, but I'm not really that sorry. You're just lazy as fuck. Put fucking gas in your car, put your fucking clothes on, go to the house.
I agree with that completely. I agree with that completely.